Universal United Kingdom Resort's biggest unanswered question is this: will Harry Potter come to Bedford? It depends on one thing: who controls Warner Brothers? On June 12, 2026, that question moved. The US Department of Justice approved a merger worth $110.9 billion, handing Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, HBO and Lord of the Rings to Paramount Skydance. A Los Angeles Times report on the bidding war revealed something remarkable. Comcast, Universal's own parent company, bid for Warner Brothers twice, and the Los Angeles Times reported explicitly why. Combining NBC Universal with Warner Brothers would give Universal's theme parks access to characters including Harry Potter and Batman for new attractions. Comcast lost twice. The company that just got US government approval to take those rights is Paramount, a direct rival to Universal Pictures. 3 parts. What happened on June 12th, the Comcast detail that's now confirmed beyond doubt, and the part of the story nobody else is covering, the part that actually determines what happens at Bedford. On June 12, 2026, the US Department of Justice delivered its decision. Paramount Skydance's $110.9 billion acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery would go forward, with no conditions attached. The Antitrust Division's formal finding was clear. This transaction was not likely to result in harm to competition or American consumers. No carve-outs, no divestitures, no behavioural remedies. With that single announcement, the control of some of the world's most valuable entertainment franchises shifted. Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, HBO, DC, and Lord of the Rings all now rest under Paramount's vast authority. This was not a matter of industry rumour or speculative headlines. The approval brought one of the largest media mergers in history into sharp legal focus. Paramount Skydance, not Universal, is now the gatekeeper for these properties. For Bedford, for Universal's UK ambitions, the question is no longer about who might win in the future. The answer is already on record. Paramount holds the rights, and any new attraction, park, or licensing deal involving Harry Potter now starts or stops at their door. The story has become one of legal ownership, not wishful thinking. The bidding war for Warner Bros. Discovery began in October 2025, drawing the attention of 3 industry giants: Paramount Skydance, Comcast, and Netflix. Each brought a different vision and strategy to the table, but Netflix quickly became the front runner. By early December, Netflix had entered exclusive talks, with reports valuing its all-cash offer at around $82.7 billion. For weeks, Netflix appeared poised to claim one of Hollywood's most coveted libraries. Behind the scenes, Paramount Skydance and Comcast continued to press their cases. Paramount's offer relied on a mix of cash and stock, while Comcast proposed a combination of NBC Universal with Warner Bros. Studios and HBO, aiming for a standalone entertainment powerhouse. Yet, as the auction entered its second round, the focus remained on Netflix's negotiations. That changed abruptly on February 26, 2026. Netflix announced it would not raise its bid, calling the deal no longer financially attractive. The next day, Paramount Skydance revealed a definitive agreement to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery, raising its offer to $31 per share and committing to a total enterprise value of $110.9 billion. This announcement shifted the momentum overnight, ending months of uncertainty. The final hurdle came on April 23, 2026, when Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders gathered for a special vote. Approval was overwhelming, with nearly 99% in favour. With the board's blessing, the transaction moved from boardroom bargaining to regulatory review, setting the stage for a new era in global entertainment. Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, did not watch the auction from the sidelines. The company submitted formal proposals in both the first and second rounds, each designed to reshape the entertainment landscape. Their plan was to combine NBC Universal with Warner Brothers film and television studios, along with HBO, into a single, standalone entertainment powerhouse. Universal's theme park division was deliberately kept separate, a move that preserved its ability to operate independently from the merged content studios. This was not a play for cable channels or a scattershot bid for any available asset. The intent was targeted and strategic, to bring Warner Brothers film and TV properties under the same corporate roof as Universal, while maintaining a clear line between content production and the theme park business. The reporting in mainstream outlets made plain that this was a calculated effort to solve a corporate intellectual property challenge, one recognised at the highest levels of Comcast's leadership. The bid was evidence of deliberate planning, not a product of fan demand or wishful thinking. The Los Angeles Times reporting brought a new level of clarity to Comcast's intentions during the Warner Bros. Discovery auction. While industry chatter often circles rumours and wish lists, the Times laid out the real motive behind Comcast's pursuit. Their bid was not just about building a bigger studio or chasing streaming market share, it was about unlocking the gates to Universal's theme parks, specifically about gaining access to Warner Bros. Properties for new attractions. The Times described Comcast's plan as a direct pipeline, a way for Universal to bring Warner Bros. Franchises into its parks. This was not coded language for future possibilities, it was a boardroom calculation, openly discussed at the highest levels of Comcast and NBC Universal. Although the articles stopped short of naming individual franchises, the implication was unmistakable. The logic of the bid pointed to the crown jewels, Harry Potter, Batman, and the rest of Warner's globally recognised characters. In the context of Universal's ambitions for Bedford, this detail changes everything. What once sounded like local speculation, or the fever dream of theme park fans, now reads as confirmed corporate strategy, reported in the mainstream press, and backed by formal proposals. The battle for Warner Bros. Discovery was never just a contest of balance sheets or streaming subscribers. It was a fight over who would control the keys to the world's most powerful entertainment brands, and by extension, who could decide what stories and experiences would define the next era of theme park expansion. For Bedford, the stakes left the realm of rumour and landed squarely in the boardroom. Within hours of the Justice Department's green light, the pushback inside the United States gathered force. California Attorney General Rob Bonta and New York's Letitia James led a coalition of states preparing lawsuits against the Paramount Skydance and Warner Bros. Discovery merger. Their filings cite the risk of reduced competition, lower wages, and sweeping job losses across the entertainment sector. The legal arguments are matched by a groundswell from the creative community. An open letter, coordinated by the Writers Guild of America and the Film Future Coalition, has drawn more than 4,000 signatures. Among them are over 75 Oscar winners and nominees, including Robert De Niro, Florence Pugh, Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jane Fonda. Their message cuts through legal jargon. This merger, they warn, threatens not just market share, but livelihoods and the creative diversity that has defined American film and television. Paramount, for its part, insists the deal will create more opportunities, but the scale of resistance is unlike anything seen in recent studio history. Britain's answer to the Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery merger is still being written, not in headlines, but in the offices of regulators and the corridors of existing studios. The UK Competition and Markets Authority opened its Phase 1 inquiry on June 9, 2026, with a decision deadline of August 7th. At the same time, the European Commission is conducting its own review, focusing on the $24 billion in sovereign wealth financing behind the deal. Both reviews remain open, their outcomes uncertain. The reality on the ground feels more immediate. Just 34.4 miles by road from the future Universal UK resort sits Warner Bros.' studio tour, London at Leavesden. Since 2012, Leavesden has drawn more than 18 million visitors and now employs about 1,000 staff, making it one of the region's largest entertainment employers. Its economic pull is not theoretical. Annual revenue reached $184.4 million in 2022, with cumulative earnings surpassing $1 billion since opening. For Bedford, the decisive action is unfolding far from the construction site. The leverage rests with the CMA, the European Commission, and the enduring presence of Warner Bros. In Britain. The question of who shapes the future of Harry Potter in the UK is unresolved, and for now, the answer lies with regulators, not developers or fans. Today, $110.9 billion shifts more than studio assets. It redraws the lines of creative and economic power. With over 4,000 jobs and 75 Oscar winners in the balance, the real decision now belongs to UK and EU regulators. For Bedford, the future is still unwritten